Good afternoon. I'm Sarah Miller. I'm a senior advisor with the Center for Workforce and Economic Opportunity at the Atlanta Fed, and I'm joined today by Jay Puckett with Boston Consulting Group. Jay, welcome.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
I wanted to start a little bit by referencing some of the work some of the recent work of Boston Consulting Group on fixing the global skills mismatch. Focusing on the notion, and to quote the report, to unlock the full potential of human capital in the face of constant change, we need to shift from mass standardization to mass uniqueness. This sentiment directly aligns with the U.S. Chamber Foundation's efforts in this talent finance initiative to create a new public-private approach for financing talent development. So the skills mismatch certainly manifests itself in a number of different ways. Employers struggle to find the skills and the talent that they need. There's inefficient communication between labor needs and the supply side for education and training. And then therefore, we're left with an education and training system that in many cases prepares people with skills and competencies that are outdated by the time that they graduate. So the report to this point references a hidden productivity tax and a qualifications trap. I wonder if you could talk to us a little bit about the implications of that tax and that trap and what we should think about in terms of mitigating the risks, financial and otherwise, that those pose for employers and for workers and learners.
So one of the things that we found when we did this research was that the skills mismatch really represents people that are both underemployed and people that are overemployed. And if you look at it on a global basis, it represents about a 6% tax to global GDP. And so this represents people that are in jobs where they don't fully have the skills that are needed to do those jobs. And so that comes at a productivity tax or penalty because they don't have all the skills needed to do the job. You also have people that are overqualified for a job, and when that happens, you can also end up with situations where people just don't have the motivation that they need. If they're overqualified, that can cause a drain as well.
So BCG has certainly been active in various education and workforce efforts across the country. The Commit Partnership, Upskill Houston, Good Reason Houston. So obviously BCG has a very deep commitment to working with communities to address the skills mismatch. And that's exactly what the Talent Finance Initiative and the white paper kind of upholds, is a number of different ways to think about new innovations and how we can catalyze new ways of working together through this public and private lens. But if you can help to think a little bit about how you see the talent finance initiative and movement really accelerating these solutions and aiming to address the skills match at a much more scalable level.
One, I think the Talent Finance Initiative just brings attention and data to bear on the problem, that we can realize, that we have productivity loss as a society and that we can address that. I think a second thing that it's done is it's highlighted some examples of innovation to help spark and catalyze new thinking around things that we can do to make the talent finance more efficient and more effective. And so by leveraging these innovations, it'll hopefully trigger further investments and scaling of ideas in new places that really haven't been tried out yet. And so I think that's an important part. And then thirdly, hopefully it will trigger action on all parties, that employers will figure out how to do their part, educational institutions will figure out how to do their part, associations can work across employers, individuals can figure out how to weigh in and take personal responsibility, and government at large can make changes. And then lastly, I think just advocating for policy change, it gives us a nice foundation for rethinking how we fund things and how we think about return on investment. And so all of those things are important aspects of what this talent finance initiative is bringing to bear.
Absolutely. No shortage of work ahead and roles for all of us to play, but I really appreciate all the work you've done, your partnership in this work, and we certainly look forward to the work ahead with you and other leaders in the field. Thank you so much for your time, Jay.
Thank you, Sarah.